welcome back, my fairies. I am Matsuyorific, and we are back to watch episode 6 of Miraculous Season 4! Oh my goodness, it has been so long. We already nearly had the end of the season by the time this came out. There was only a few other episodes. By the time I'm recording this, everything that we were waiting on is either come out officially or has been leaked. So, yeah, and here I am just finally getting around to reviewing Psycomedian. For those of you who are new to this channel, the way that these work is I do this part first. We discuss what we know about the episode, and instead of video, you guys get to see me doing a work in progress of a new art piece. So this is going to be a series that I'm actually considering doing, where I draw miraculous heroes as magical girls. And of course I had to start with Cat Noir, or rather my female version of him, Kitty Noir. So this is Cat Noir / Kitty Noir as a magical girl, and I hope you guys enjoy it. As far as Psycomedian goes, I think there was a trailer that came out, but we didn't actually get to see the trailer. And I figured, you know what, I'm just gonna go into it blindly. There is a trailer out for Panel Team as well, but I'm gonna do the same with that since it's already been leaked. But for now, we are focusing on Psycomedian, so I am going to go watch the episode because I haven't seen it yet as of this part of the video. But I will be right back after my initial viewing to give you guys my initial thoughts. Oh my gosh, you guys, that ending was just so sweet! Oh my goodness! So, some initial things that stood out to me was like, the first half of the episode, I'm like, this is clearly an Adrian episode, but I'm just focused on that one little Chula Rose scene where they're like, where they're talking about how friendship comes before love, and then they do the little cuddle, and it's like, ah! Oh my goodness, that was so cute. Oh my goodness. And then, oh, I cringed really hard when Marinette was doing the comedy sketch, and then, oh my goodness, like, I'm glad my boy didn't take it seriously when she got hit with that power and was super angry and yelling at him. It's like, I can forgive her in this moment because I know it's not her fault, and he's at least taking it well. He's like, yeah, I know you're not yourself. This kind of hurts to hear, but I know you're not yourself. It's not your fault. It's like, yeah, I agree. It's not her fault. She doesn't mean this stuff, but at the very least, she could have apologized. Girl, you could have apologized to him. You were pretty awful, but like, we get it. You were under a spell. It's understandable. And then that part at the end where she apologized and he's like, but nobody can make me laugh more than Marinette Dupen Chang. It's like, oh, that was so cute! It was so sweet! Okay, so before we get into the review, I'm gonna do one final watch through, and I will see you guys in a bit. Okay, so let's actually go ahead and get into the review now that I have rewatched the episode. So the episode starts with Marinette and her friends. You know, they start out at lunch and then it winds up being after school, and we do a bit of a clip show, and I gotta admit I was a little worried about this being another flashback episode like Stormy 2. Oh my gosh, please don't do this to me. We don't need another flashback episode, but fortunately we only got 3 flashbacks, and they were just there to help illustrate the fact that, you know, Marinette and Adrian, they're still not together, they're just friends, but they, you know, they are at least becoming good friends. And we get to see a couple, just the 3 flashbacks. We see the flashback to to the bubbler, which was, Adrian's birthday. I can't remember where the other flashback was at. I do remember that clip, because I know that, the girls were planning a potential date with Marinette and Adrian, and they were gonna, ride around Paris in the horse and buggy ride, and she accidentally calls it a coleslaw at the end. It's like, I just can't remember the episode. And then the last clip is of her and Adrian in The Puppeteer 2, in the limo, and, he mentions that he's in love with somebody, and she's like, oh, no, that hurts. But she probably assumed that it was Kagami, and not realizing that it was technically her. But, yeah, that was interesting. And then that whole Jula Rose scene was just so adorable. I mean, Rose, Julika said something about how they're special friends. And then Rose is like, you can't have love without friendship. And then they do the little cuddle. It's like, oh, it's so cute! Oh my goodness. Oh, they were so cute. We seriously need something to make that canon, please. Stop hinting, just make it canon. Make it true, please. I need more Jula Rose in my life. They're so cute. But, anyways, so then it switches to being after school, and they're continuing their conversation, and Nino is showing Adrian a video to the side of Harry. I can't remember his name. His last name, just his first name was Harry, and he's showing him a video of Harry's sketch, which Adrian isn't really all that into, but then he looks up and sees Marinette being Marinette, and actually laughs, which makes Nino think that he's laughing at Harry's sketch. And then later on, Marinette thinks that he was laughing at it too, and so she decides, I'll make Adrian laugh, and that's how he'll fall for me. So she talks to Nino and finds out, that they were watching Harry's sketch, and she's like, oh, he's a regular at our bakery, and just so happens to be there at 5 o'clock, which is right now, so let me go run home because plot convenience. So yeah, that was a bit of a plot convenience, but, they could have just done a quick cut, be like, oh, he might do, I'll see him later on tonight. It's like, why are they at the school until 5? Good lord. School's usually let out, 2:30. Why were they there until 5? Unless that's normal for Paris, but dang. So, she goes home, talks to Harry, and he immediately sees that she's in love with Adrian, so that's why she wants to go to the event with him, and finds out that Harry is a friend of Gabriel's. And it's like, are you really friends with Gabriel? And he's like, oh yeah, I can get Gaby to allow Adrian to go to my sketch so that you can, to go to my show so you guys can watch it together. And then he goes to talk to Gabriel, and lo and behold, Gabriel is like, why are we still friends? Oh, that costume, I thought we agreed we'd never talk about that again because that was absolutely ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Wrong rich family. But, he's like, okay, fine, but only if it gets approved, and I have to approve of the script, and, well, yeah, I skipped the part. He gets Gabriel to allow Adrian to go by saying, oh, I'm working on this movie, and I'd love Adrian to be a part of it. And Gabriel's like, okay, well, only if it gets approved, and, I've got to approve the script and everything. So he's like, yeah, that's fine. The point is that Adrian goes, but yeah, that's fine. So he goes and talks to Marinette, but before that, as Harry is leaving Gabriel's office, Gabriel is like, you could tell he is already planning for this to go south so that he can akumatize poor Harry. Poor guy, oh my goodness. So he's like, yeah, this is gonna be failure. So Harry goes and he talks to Marinette, and she's like, oh, but I'm not funny, so how am I supposed to make Adrian laugh? So Harry teaches Marinette some of his jokes, which Adrian isn't actually interested in. So he teaches her some of the jokes and encourages her, and then at the show she finds him in line and she fails the comedy sketch. He is completely... He doesn't even get it. He's thinking that this is just normal Marinette, and then it's like... And then she squirts him with the water. It's like, hey, what'd you do that for? It's like, oh, yeah. It's like, hey, I thought we were done pulling pranks on each other, like in that flashback from earlier. It's like, oh, it was so cringe, and you just kind of feel bad for her, because, like, she's trying really hard. So then she runs off crying, and then Harry talks to Bob Roth, and is like, no, you're a comedian, we're not doing a serious story. So he gets upset, and Gabriel's like, yep, I knew this was gonna happen, sending out my Akuma. He was ready for it too. And I think Marinette is lucky that Gabriel was already planning to Akumatize Harry, because she was heartbroken. So she might have gotten it if it wasn't for the fact that Gabriel was already targeting Harry. He gets rejected for his movie, and then he finds out that Marinette failed with his comedy sketch, and so he winds up getting akumatized. And his power is that he can make you feel any emotion that he chooses. So he just honks his nose after saying you're going to be sad, you're going to be angry, you're going to laugh, and then you do it. And skipping through some stuff, he winds up getting Ladybug. Well, okay. So we should talk about the initial Lucky Charm first, because they got it wrong, but the Lucky Charm still would have worked had they gotten it right, and that was actually pretty clever of her to paint eyes onto her eyelids. Now that did go kind of fast. Like, how did she get an entire eye on her eyelid with just 2 brush strokes? No, I'm not buying that. I'm sorry. That would have taken much longer than 2 brush strokes. I'm sorry. But, so anyways, they do that, but they got the akumatized object wrong. They get his nose instead. And that's when she gets hit with his angry power, and starts taking, first she goes AWOL on Harry, on Psycomedian, and then Cat Noir takes her away, and she starts taking it out on him. It's like, oh, poor kitty. It's like, but I didn't do anything. Yeah, you never do anything. It's like, she doesn't mean it, she doesn't mean it, she doesn't mean it. But she didn't even apologize later. But, so anyway, he takes her away, hoping that it'll break when she detransforms. It doesn't. He hopes that it'll break when she transforms again. It doesn't. Like, even Tiki was angry. It's like, Marinette and Tiki were both so angry. Oh my goodness. Like, ugh. So they transform again. She's still angry and yelling at him for everything. And then she gets another Lucky Charm, and she smashes the darn thing for being, quote, too obvious. I mean, granted, even Cat Noir was able to get it. It's like, yeah, it was obvious for once. He just put it on his head. She's like, yeah, that's why I'm angry. It's too obvious. How dare it? So they wind up taking somebody else's bike helmet, and she distracts Psycomedian so that he can paint it like a Lucky Charm. I don't know why that was necessary. That was kind of weird. And then it didn't really seem like she was throwing the painted helmet at the end. Like, obviously, it works. They get the Cataclysm, the pouch, the pouch, and oh yeah, I gotta say, the line that Cat Noir had, who wears those bags anymore? It's like 8 episodes later, Marinette makes one for Alia, and it's like, yeah, this super cool bag that my best friend made for me. It's like, and these, yeah. 8 episodes later, that hits kind of differently. But anyway, they save Harry, and instead of throwing her Lucky Charm, it kind of seemed like she was throwing the painted helmet, which was weird. But I don't know, maybe I just didn't see that right each time. So she throws it, fixes everything, they go to the show, and that's when they have this cute little conversation. She apologizes to Adrian. She didn't apologize to Cat Noir for yelling at him, no, but she apologized to Adrian. But she apologized to him for being weird, and, you know, she admits, you know, she was just trying to do Harry's routine, and he's like, honestly, you already make me laugh. Nobody makes me laugh more than Marinette Dupen Chang. And it's like, oh, that was so sweet. And then the episode ends. So yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I'm glad it didn't turn into a full-on flashback episode, because we all know how annoying those kinds of episodes are. It was really annoying. Yeah, no, there was, you know, the Adrianette stuff was nice. There was no stalking or anything, so that was good. No staring at him or anything like that, just pure fluff, and I loved it. And that one bit with Jula Rose, like, ah, my shipping hearts! But, yeah, so that was fun. So, tell me what you guys thought of this episode. Did you enjoy this episode? Was it meh? How were the Adrianette scenes for you? Didn't you just love that Jula Rose scene? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos from me. We do all sorts of fun stuff on this channel, including playing video games, we do art, and I'll sometimes talk about cartoons and anime. So if you enjoy this stuff, then be sure to ring that bell icon and never miss a video. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I hope you all have a very magical day.